God of War Ragnarok recently received some brand new details, so let's cover them right away. God of War Ragnarok will have various shields with different defensive options and abilities. Speaking in a recent interview with John Ford, which we have linked below, when asked about the different kinds of shields we saw Kratos using in the trailer, game director Eric Williams confirmed that there will indeed be various shields in God of War Ragnarok, each with their own defensive attributes and properties, before adding that enemies and combat encounters will be designed in a way where players will be encouraged to experiment with different kinds of gears and abilities in certain situations. Quote, I don't want to go too deep on it, but yes, there are different shields, and they have different defensive options and abilities, Williams said. The reason we're doing this is we really want to open up excessive choice to the way that you build your Kratos, like the equipment and loadout and things like that. So all the way down to the defense, you can kind of play a little differently. And then the enemies know how to respond to that or force you into these different situations where you need to use different things. So I think it'll be fun for players to explore that, but also we wanted it to be more expressive, where your choices matter when you set them up. God of War Ragnarok will feature full localization support for various languages. God of War Ragnarok will launch with full localization support, which includes both voiceovers and text for several languages. These will be German, Greek, Italian, Japanese, Polish, European Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, Russian, European Spanish, and Latin American Spanish. Meanwhile, the game will also feature text-only localization as well for simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Croatian, Czech, Hungarian, and Thai. God of War Ragnarok receives new PlayStation 5 screenshots, additional story details. The product page for SIE Santa Monica Studios' God of War Ragnarok has been updated, offering a bit more information on the overarching story. It also features new screenshots taken from the gameplay reveal trailer, providing a better look at Freya and Angerboda, some of the new locations that Kratos and Atreus will visit, and much more. Following the events of God of War in 2018, Kratos and Atreus are venturing across the Nine Realms while Asgard's armies are ready for war, and the coming Ragnarok. We know that the duo seek Tyr, but they're also gathering other allies from across the realms. Kratos must choose between being chained by the fear of repeating his mistakes or break free of his past to be the father Atreus needs. It also notes that Kratos' deadly Spartan skills will be tested like never before as he fights to protect his family. There's quite a bit that we already know of, but it should be interesting to see what other allies the two could gather. Mimir makes a return along with the dwarven smiths Sindri and Brock. Other characters confirmed to be appearing include Thor, Odin, who will reportedly have a large role, Hrist and Na of the Valkyries, and the Einherjar. God of War Ragnarok's delay was due to Kratos' voice actor needing surgery.
What are we hunting?
You are hunting deer.
Which way?
In the direction of deer.
Sony's God of War Ragnarok is set to release next year, but based on the gameplay footage that's been seen till now, it's making excellent progress. While the publisher noted that the pandemic was hampering titles with heavy motion capture, like Horizon Forbidden West, which was delayed to February 2022, another factor seems to have contributed to the Ragnarok's delay in the long run. Actor Christopher Judge, who voices Kratos, revealed on Twitter that he had to have back and knee surgery along with hip replacements in August of 2019. I need to be forthcoming, he said. This has been approved by no one. To the beloved fandom, Ragnarok was delayed because of me. August 2019, I couldn't walk, had to have back surgery, both hips replaced, and knee surgery. They waited for me to go to rehab. No threats, no who do you think you are, nothing but love and support. And at Sony Santa Monica has never said a word about the delay and what caused it. Judge noted that there were other things that the studio did for the crew that I can't talk about, but to those involved, he said, it's the classiest thing that I've ever heard about in this business. He further said that everyone involved in the franchise, quote, put their hearts and souls into every frame you see. And thank those that have, quote, have always allowed me to play and love and laugh and cry without judgment, but with unconditional support and love in this thing of all of ours. God of War Ragnarok, ending the Norse saga.
Please! There has been enough pain!
We recently covered this point in another video, but we have a much deeper explanation behind why this setting is ending in just 2 games. In a recent interview with YouTuber Captain Kuba, when asked about why it was decided that Ragnarok would be the final game in the Norse saga, Eric Williams, who replaces Barlog as director on the upcoming sequel, says that the decision was actually made by his predecessor. Barlog then went on to explain that, quote, given where the team was at and where Eric Williams was at with what he wanted to do, I was like, look, I think we can actually do this in the second story. Because most of what we were trying to do for the beginning was to tell something about Kratos and Atreus' that core story. The story engine is really the relationship between these 2 characters. The complexity radiates out like a ripple in a pond, and we could make it an ocean and have those ripples just go thousands of miles. But is that necessary and is that beneficial, or are we feeling like it's just spreading it a bit too far? The ripples get too far apart and you just sort of lose the plot a little bit. Balrog went on to add that SIE Santa Monica Studio is looking to craft a singular experience across both games in the Norse saga, telling one story from beginning to end, an effect that he feels is fantastic when done right. Quoting, that experience I had when I got the extended edition box set of The Lord of the Rings, and I was able to say, wow, I can sit down and have like 13 and a half hours of this experience, playing them one after another, back to back. And I just thought that was fantastic, amazing. So to be able to say, hey man, you could probably start God of War 2018 and then play God of War Ragnarok and feel like you're getting the entirety of the story. And I kind of want that to happen maybe before my kids are in college, Balrog added. Also, as we started to talk about what the story could be, about where Eric really wanted to go, the things that were interesting and exciting for him, I was like, yeah, I really do think we can do this, because it's centralizing itself always around these characters, and they're really kind of giving everybody the time that they need. Those were important things. And, you know, after that, we wanted to really make a big splash with something. Not sure what it is, but I think it'll be great. The assumption, of course, is that once the Norse saga has been wrapped up, God of War will move on to another mythology for another new arc, which was something even the 2018 game seemed to hint at. So how, or if that will be set up in God of War Ragnarok, remains to be seen. And that brings us to the end of this video. A quick request before we conclude: we upload new videos every single day, and if you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing. It really, really helps us out. Also, don't forget to enable all your notifications by clicking the bell icon so that you can receive daily video updates. Thanks for watching.